Have you ever really thought about what happiness is? And if you've thought about what happiness is, have you then thought about how to be happy? And if you've thought about how to be happy, have you considered that perhaps your age, where you live, the stage you're going through in the lifespan, as in what stage you're going through in life, how that impacts upon what happiness is? I have considered this and considered this and considered this. And as you know, I'm writing a book on it. I think I've written 4 drafts now. But it's going to be simple. It's going to be understandable across culture and age. And it's going to have some answers. So I'm going to keep working on it. It's absolutely fascinating looking at what happiness is. And to those of you who are waiting upon the book, firstly, I apologise. And secondly, it's going to be a good book. YouTube's changed my life. The ASMR community has changed my life. And now the book is changing my life. I feel like I'm on an escalator going up in insight, the ability to see where our actions may take us. At least I hope that I'm developing insight. How are you? I do apologise that I haven't been around. I'm here. Here I am. It's very cold outside, so I have a ski jacket on. It's a beautiful jacket. I just love it. I wanted to have a word with you, if that's okay with you, about happiness. I find it so incredibly fascinating. But my fascination aside, it's important that we unearth a definition that's workable so that we can increase our levels of happiness. When I first looked at happiness, I wanted to and I needed to find an answer that didn't need anyone else. I wanted to find an answer that said, I don't need anyone ever and I can be happy. Wouldn't that be great? I found a lot of readings and resources that supported this. And that was good. Oh yes, tick, I'm happy. I don't need anyone and I'm happy. But what's the good of a theory of happiness if it isn't the right theory? We can all decide that an orange is blue. It's blue, damn it, it's blue. An orange is blue. Ah, but is an orange really blue? We need to know what's really workable. What is going to make us happy? I was brought up in a really loving family. And my parents are very, and have always been, very happily married. We're really big into family celebration and family stuff. My childhood is full of memories of family stuff. When I was a child, I spoke both Polish and English. So my memories, some of them are in Polish. I no longer am fluent in Polish. I remember collecting the ridze. Ridze is a word for a type of mushroom. And we would go out as a family and collect ridze. They're an orange mushroom that's used for pickling. And we would be so excited when we would find the little ones, because my mother preferred the little ones. She said they tasted better. And we would run around giggling and falling over and getting dirty, and it was so much fun. And at Christmas, we call Christmas Vigilia. So I guess I'm in an Australian-Polish family. My mum is Australian, from England, immigrated from England 2 generations ago, and my father came out from Poland following the Second World War. It's an incredible love story because my father loves my mother so much. So I've been brought up with this story of love that really is beyond any story I've ever heard. They are so in love. We would go to the supermarket in Australia. We have Coles and Safeway. We would go to Coles and my father would shout from one aisle to the next, "I love you." And my mum would say, "Be quiet, how embarrassing." But in a way that we knew she was happy. So the happiness I experienced as a child was a sense of togetherness through festival, ritual, and so much laughter. And then as I grew up, that which occurred for my brothers and sisters, or most of them, did not occur for me. That's a spontaneous occasion of falling in love, getting married and having children. Didn't happen. I eventually got married at age 39. Oh. And the marriage ended at age 46. Now, if you watch my videos, I did talk about this, not in any detail. I just say the marriage ended. But for me, this was a real watershed. When I say watershed, I mean big moment. Because my role modelling, or what I learned as a child, and what we learn as children is so important. We're like computers, and it creates who we are, our childhood development. And identifying this can really help us grow by identifying how our childhood development has shaped the computers that we are. So I wanted to fit in with the role model that my parents had set, one of a very happily married couple with children that would go out and collect ritzer and get together for Vigilia and Easter and birthdays and communion and church. It wasn't the religious belief for me so much as, and I do have religious belief, but it was the occasion of togetherness. And I wanted to copy this. I wanted to do this. One, I didn't get married for a long time, for many reasons, the person that I am. And then the marriage didn't last. So when it ended, I thought, oh my goodness, how can I feel happy if the formula I have learned is not available to me? How can I feel happy when I'm missing a person that is required in the happiness formula? Because my happiness formula was the family unit, the festivities, the celebration, the interaction, the love. So I looked for research that would tell me Okay, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. Don't worry about it. And I found a lot of that research. Eckhart Tolle, some of the Eastern approach says you don't need anyone or anything. You complete yourself. I'm doing this video in the middle of the day, so you're going to hear cars. I wanted to find a theory that said you don't need anyone. You're okay by yourself. And it looks like I have read everything I can find, watched every TED Talk, read every book several times, and then I've read them several times again. And then I've rewritten my book so many times because the book is a workbook on how to find happiness, it's not something you actually find. You decide to be happy. And there is a way that most of us can do that. There is an overwhelming amount of research, that says that our brain, in order to grow, develop in wisdom, develop neurologically, we require the interaction of others. In order to develop through the lifespan, we require interaction with other brains because we're social. We are a herd animal. We are. So the answer to happiness is how we navigate through the fact that we're a social animal. There is a tightrope, or I refer to it as a tightrope. And on one side we have detachment theory. I don't need anyone. On the other side we have attachment theory. My soulmate completes me. Happiness lies in the middle. And I'm working out exactly how it lies in the middle and how we sit in that place with happiness. Our sense of self defines the quality of our interactions. The more meaningful our interactions, the more we can grow as souls within a community. So it's the honour we place upon ourself, the self-respect we have, the self-acceptance, the self-knowledge that we have, the self-awareness that we have. That defines the quality of our relationships. Once we are better aware of ourselves, our relationships are more likely to fall into place. So it's that balance between attachment and detachment. A clear sense of self. So that sense of self is able to contribute, to give to the community with boundaries. So in a nutshell, happiness is levels of satisfaction through the lifespan. And happiness is well-being, being well, having a sense of contentment across the lifespan. What contributes to your happiness 5 years ago is different to what contributes to your happiness in 5 years. Happiness is a state of mind today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. But that state of mind in 5 years is different to the state of mind today. The moment is all we have. Can you see the complexity here? We do need people. But if that need compromises our sense of self, then that need is debatably not healthy. allowing for that. Every relationship we have, there needs to be some compromise. You might have a set of friends and you have your movie-going friend that you go to the movies with because you know that dynamic works. You may have your spiritual friend that you identify with, your spiritual goals and your spiritual path. That dynamic works. You may have your partner, your intimacy partner, and you like to go to wine tastings together. You like to discuss the news together. And you are intimate, and that dynamic works. No one person will fulfill all your needs. Because if they do, you've compromised your sense of self. Can you see the complexity? Attachment theory, detachment theory. We need to sit somewhere in the middle. Our brains require other brains. What really taught this to me was my marriage ended. I felt broken. I looked on the internet. I started getting to know people through YouTube. They contributed to my sense of being, my sense of growth. Over time, I met Ilsa and Jenny and Maria and the ASMR community. That contributed to my sense of development, my growth, my insight, my awareness. I stepped forward. Then over time, readings, I went to university, did masters in counselling, further interacted, worked out ways to interact more meaningfully, and my perception is I've grown. So it's a very interesting, dynamic process. How are you going? So I wanted to touch base with you. I will get this book right. When I write it, sometimes I find it too academic when I read it out aloud. It needs to be simple enough for someone who has never gone to school. Yet the theories need to subscribe to current research. I can't just make stuff up. I need research to back it. So it's coming, and I'm really dedicating myself to it. And in the background here, there are 4 children that are just swinging off the eaves all the time, like monkeys. Just driving me crazy in a wonderful, wonderful way. Martin Seligman said, "Who's ever heard of a person who regularly laughs by themselves?" We are a community. We are a globe. We are a society. We are a family. We are friends. We need each other. But if that need for another person overtakes you, it's no longer healthy. We need each other in order to give to each other, but not so it compromises your sense of self or self-love. Thank you so much for listening to my videos. I will be doing more ASMR and relaxation. I need to get this book finished. I hope you're well. I try and watch as many videos as I can. I care about you. Stay in touch. I do look at the comments. I want to get this book done. Take care. Keep warm or cool wherever you are in the world. Eat well, sleep well, be well today in this moment. Being well today in this moment, choosing your relationships carefully in this moment defines your relationships and sense of self in the future.